Beep, beep, toot, toot. Hey, good people. It's your Alabama church girl here. First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, to all the leaders, saints, and friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome on in. We're back. We're back for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is not a review, but it is a good conversation. Okay. I am the Alabama church girl. Here I talk the taboo topics of the Black church and the Black community, and I utilize this messy reality TV show for a good conversation about our folk. Okay? They're Alabama people and they're Black people. So, okay, tell your friends, come on in and join the conversation right about now. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of the supporters and subscribers. All of the new subscribers. We finally hit that 1,000 subscriber mark over the past 3 weeks. So thank you so very much. I really, really greatly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate all of the support. All of you who've been rocking with me for a minute. My constant, consistent crew, I really do appreciate you. I'm also open and welcoming to new subscribers. So tell your friends to come on over here because it's a good conversation. I know that everybody doesn't necessarily watch reality TV. I have discovered that a lot of people don't even know that there's a reality TV show based right here in Alabama. Why are we not talking about it? Tell them folks to come on over here. I started talking to some colleagues of mine over the past couple of weeks, and they're like, "Huh? What? Who?" Come to find out, some of them are friends with these people. I'm only 1 degree of separation from these castmates. Okay, so let's get into the mess because it's been so much explosiveness happening since we've been away. All right, do y'all remember this scene, this setup that we have here on the screen? Do y'all remember us talking about this? Oh my God. New castmate Latricia, and her boyfriend, Ken, dark skinned Ken, who is standing behind her, have a storyline for us. And baby, what they've presented to us might not be the actual reality that is lived out on these Alabama streets. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. We want to love Trisha. We want to love dark skinned Ken because they are some beautiful people and they seem very, very lovable and likable on screen. But I want y'all to tell the truth and be honest about it. Amen. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. We want you to be honest about it. So much has happened since I stepped away. Carlos first announced that the show was going to step away, give some time for the Olympics to have it shine. I appreciate that, Carlos. We had a lot going on at home. So we had a lot going on at work, so I appreciate that little break. Hey, brother, I appreciated that little break. But then he and Dr. Heavenly have been over there on Messy Mondays, is spilling all the behind the scenes tea about what's happening on this show and what's happening with this cast. Okay, so first they were supposed to have an interview with both Latricia and her boyfriend, dark skinned Ken. Yeah, we're gonna get to the episode. We're getting to the episode. We're working our way up, but I need to share this. And I need you to share this video. So go ahead and hit that share button and tag a bunch of your friends and tell them come on over here to this conversation. All right, but I need to talk about this. Dr. Heavenly and Carlos were over there in an interview. It was supposed to be Trish and Dark Skin Kid, but come to find out, they got into an argument. See, y'all, here I am. I ain't one to gossip, but I will. Yeah, so anywho, come to find out, they got into an argument. And dark skinned Ken said, I got to step away. I got to go somewhere. So he got out, went to a whole nother state to get away, to catch his breath, come back to himself. While Trisha went on to Messy Mondays with Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly, and she continued with the interview. Trisha is a gorgeous woman. She is a likable woman. I told y'all. Latricia, from her Instagram, presentation and her training these other ladies on the show, I would love to work with Latricia because it appears that she does great work. She knows what I'm sure she was probably a master fitness trainer. Um, Another thing, let me just say to everybody who came over here and wanted to discredit and discount my perspective, my name is Valerie. I am the Alabama church girl, and I can see through muddy water on a cloudy day. Amen. I am a good judge of character. I told y'all from the first time I saw this lady on screen that I saw something more than what this pretty face and this pretty little fit body was showing us. I told y'all I saw some anger in her that she wasn't necessarily verbalizing. Amen. Hallelujah. Yeah, it's been playing out on the social media streets. Just in case you hadn't checked it out, going and over to Instagram. Some of the YouTubers have been communicating about it. But yeah, Trisha got a whole lot going on. Anywho, she comes off likable. She's an engineer. She works over at NASA, I believe. She was military female. She was in the military before she started working with NASA. She's a single. Well, she has 2 kids. She's married. Yes, she got a boyfriend named Dark Skin Ken, but she has a husband who is this other gentleman right here on the screen, and his name is Marquez. Okay, put a pin in that. But Trisha also probably has been lying with another castmate named Martell. All right, y'all remember this, okay? Next week, Messy Mondays come back around, and it's Dark Skin Ken. Dark Skin Ken came over to tell us his side of the story. I will say this. Dr. Heavenly, when I met her in person, Dr. Heavenly was really kind of a little yeah, snooty with me. But I'm going to say, Dr. Heavenly, no matter how you presented yourself to me in person, lady, you and I think alike. Yes, we do. Everything she said, just about everything that Dr. Heavenly said and all of her analysis of what their presentation was, I agree with. Yes, I agree. But anywho, so Dark Skin Ken comes over to Miss Mondays. He gives his side of the story, and he is projecting that he might be considered a simp, but he's just a good man, and he just found him a good woman, and he's gonna stand 10 toes down with this good woman. All right, Dark Skin Ken. He painted the picture as though Marquez, who is the husband that's sitting right here, Marquez is not the good man. He's not doing his due diligence as a husband and as a father. Dark skinned Kid said, "Don't fault me for stepping in and stepping up and taking care of your kids when you don't take care of your kids." He said in these words. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm giving you the cliff notes. If you're aged like me, you know what cliff notes are. I'm giving you the summary of this interview because we got a whole episode to get to. Okay, so then Marquez comes on to Messy Mondays the third week. We've been gone 3 weeks, remember? Marquez comes on to Messy Monday, and Marquez said, I got something to say. Marquez came full of energy and full of life. I think he had a couple of espresso shots before he got on there. Something had a whole bunch of ha 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 in his chest. And Marquez said, let me break down this timeline for y'all. Me and Trisha were not we were not separated at the time that her and Dark Skin Ken got together. Remember, on this episode that is presented here on the screen, Marquez was saying that Dark Skin Ken and his wife were all up in the DMs sending emojis, chocolate emojis, and being a whole bunch of flirtatious before he ever left the home, before he ever left his marital bed. Yeah, so he was suggesting that his wife cheated on him. That's what he was suggesting. That's what I picked up. That was that he felt like they had an inappropriate situation. All right, so after all this messiness, then we get the episode comes out. Was it the episode came out before Ken and Trisha and Marquez got into it on Instagram. I don't know. Maybe it was all in the same day. It's getting cloudy because a whole bunch has been going on. We got the Olympics going on. The DNC is going on. Trump is going crazy. All of this stuff was happening, and I was working too much to come over here and talk to y'all about it. So I apologize that I'm having to give it all to you at one dump. But here we are. All right, so dark skinned Ken and Trisha, I guess somehow something happened behind the scene and an explosion happened over on Instagram. Excuse me, y'all. But an explosion happened on Instagram and they began to have this open argument with all of our eyes and ears to see and hear what they had to say to each other, which pick up the phone, FaceTime each other, go drive by the house. No, don't drive by the house because I don't want no violence, no laying on of hands. But because they put it out in the open, we talking about it, okay? So Marquez is upset and saying basically, like I said, he was suggesting that they had an inappropriate situation. Well, Trisha said, well, you done messed up. Trisha starts calling him girl. Trisha starts suggesting that he has boyfriends of his own. Trisha starts suggesting that it wasn't espresso that had him bumped up. It was a little substance that goes to the nose. I was like, oh my God, Trisha, I knew you had it in you, girl. Trisha started suggesting that he's so infatuated with the muscle man because maybe he wanted the muscle man instead of her. I was like, okay, Trisha, girl, shut up and keep talking. And then dark skin Ken is kind of just thumping his ego. It's like, yeah, I got her now. He posts a picture. He posts a picture of himself as, or a picture of Batman with Catwoman on her knees and makes a suggestion in the caption that this is why his wife is over here. Your wife is over here with me. I said, oh my God, dark skinned Ken. Now I wanted to like you this whole time. I wanted to like you this whole time, but you really did mess up with that post. That was very much so unlikable, sir. And I'm just going to say that I've always shared with you all that my favorite scripture is out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And for you to speak that, share that on such a public platform that lets me know what's in your heart and I don't like it, it makes you look ugly. It makes you look very ugly, dark skin Ken. And Trisha, by the way, beautiful Barbie doll, Trisha, you too. All right, so then we get to the episode. Forecast sunny or shady. And I just want to say that if this episode for me, everybody, it has been doing their reviews. I watch them. Yes, I do. I'm just going to let y'all know that I am not going to review the same way that everyone else does. Okay. So do y'all recall when we last left off before we took this break for the Olympics that we were sitting on the couch with Trisha and dark skinned Ken, with her explaining to him that she forgot that she had went over to Martell's house while he was still married to Melody. All these M's, y'all. Please forgive me. Do y'all recall that? Cause I do. I'm keeping up. Like I told you, I love a good book and I love a good story. And once I'm in, I'm all in to the story. And they have a good story. It's a very interesting story. Is it moral? I don't know. I don't think so. Is it righteous? I definitely know it's not. But it's a juicy story, okay? It's one of those collard greens mashed down in the cornbread with the juices in it, and you sucking it up and you doing this to your fingers. It's one of those kind of stories, okay? So we're here in season 8, episode 13. Forecast sunny or shady. This episode, I will say everything that I have thought, perceived, and analyzed about Melody, she presented in this episode. I don't care nothing about these fans who are just on cloud nine for Melody. I don't care nothing about it. I really don't. I'm gonna tell you what I don't like about Melody. This is for you, Kevin Reynolds. Since you think that I can't just say it out loud. Yes, I can. I ain't got no problem sharing. I don't care for that. The personality that she's presenting on TV, I do not care for. And I think the main reason I cannot get with it, and I know this is TV. She's making a show. I get it. But I also get the fact that you can make a show without using religion. You can make a show without bringing up your relationship with a certain religious or spiritual deity. Melody has presented herself on this show as if she is an all righteous church girl. Of course, because I am a church girl, that makes my ears perk up like, okay, a representative like me. Because I'm trying to see myself. I'm trying to see, how I identify with these characters. Of course, she's a beautiful lady. I identify with her womanhood. I identify with even her story. When she presented herself as a woman who's been cheated on by her ex, he goes out here and make this baby. He is really making her embarrassed or embarrassing her to the public. I identify with that girl. But what I don't like, what I don't identify, what I don't like that you are playing in this identity politics is that you play up this persona of church girl for your benefit and for your profit. But that's really not who you are. Because, like I said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And your mouth has been telling on you the whole time. Even though you always want to get into that little voice and God said go, and I'm just gonna pray about it, and we're gonna pray and we're gonna fast about it. You can be very vile and vindictive in your behavior. If you don't like these folks, get from around these folks. You don't have to be here. Remember, you were the one that presented yourself as, I'm so above them and I'm so rich, I don't need them. So then why do you need the show? Questions that require answers. If you are so above them and you are so rich that you don't need them, and you got all these fans out here telling folk how you so rich and you got so much other income and that you don't need it, girl, just be the executive producer from behind the screen, just like Carlos, and make your money. Because as the EP, you should be your salary should be compensating you enough that you don't have to be talent as well. I'm just saying. And I also told y'all from the beginning, from the very first episode, when we saw the presentation in that black and white suit, I told y'all when that Reality with the King filmed in Huntsville, the very first one that Carlos did with Melody as his guest, and she was dressed in the black and white split. Every single time you see that lady in that black and white suit, you better know it's some mess to come. You better know it's some venom laced in that suit. You better understand that it's a uniform. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so she put on the black and white suit and that stiletto, and she came over here and started slumming around with the swamp people. We see her doing the property preservation stuff. I don't care nothing about it. I could pick it apart, but we ain't got time for that. We see Chris and Nell in this episode forecast Sunny or Shady. We see Chris and Nell sit down and have a conversation. I'm just going to tap on this just a little bit, a teensy weeny bit. Nell and Chris are very cute. They are still boyfriend, girlfriend. Even though they've been married for 30 years, they are still boyfriend and girlfriend, and it's cute. You could tell that Chris has been trained well by his wife to make sure happy wife, happy life. He is bringing her a glass of wine. They're sitting. She got her feet cocked up, and she talked to her boyfriend. They bring up the episode where they had counseling with Dr. Francis. And I want to say we talked extensively about Nell's position as the matriarch of her family, and how that matriarch needed some counseling, and how a lot of the matriarchs of our Black families need some counseling, especially when it comes to their relationship with the girls. Also, when it comes to that balance of power, being a strong hand with our kids versus trying to bless them with a soft life that we possibly didn't have. She doesn't know if she wants to spoil them or if she wants to be stern with them. So we talked about that extensively, and her not being able to control her own emotions and her own temper. Well, what I will say about this little snippet that we saw of Nell and Chris discussing Dr. Francis, I did not like the fact that Nell was being dismissive of that counseling, because it was very necessary. It was like she had that moment with her kids. It appeared that she had a breakthrough, and then she reneged on it. And I ain't like that, Nell. That's not a cute look, Nell. And you so cute. You are such a pretty lady. But your behavior and the way you talked about that wasn't cute. Okay, so anywho, what I want to talk about in this episode 13, season 8, it all boils down to me was this brunch scene and the boutique scene. Their brunch and their boutique told it all. When you sit down to fellowship, it was like the disciples. It was like the 12 disciples sitting down at the table for the Last Supper. Jesus found out then, he called it out then, one of you Negroes are going to deceive me. One of y'all going to betray me. And everybody said, Lord, is it I? Thou hast said. So they're sitting down here. Kimmy and Maurice are opening up a restaurant. They have this location that is designed to be a restaurant. They're not going to actually be the restaurateurs, but they are the landlords, and they have a chef who wants to rent the property to have as her restaurant. So that chef is doing like a focus group, and the cast has come to be the focus group for taste testing. This is at brunch time. Mind you, this is in the winter time. This is probably around February-ish when they're taping. Everyone is at this brunch. All the castmates are at this brunch except Martell, Destiny, Sunny, and Moses. But for some reason, 3 out of those 4 are the topic of discussion at this brunch. You know how it goes. I ain't one to gossip, but you know. Yeah. So, first thing I noticed is the first thing that stood out to me. I noticed a whole lot, but the first thing that really stood out to me was the cameramen are showing all the guests coming in to the facility. They even showed us Kimmy walking up. Kimmy and Maurice, this is their property, but they're walking up dressed in overcoats. Kimmy got on long sleeves. She had one sleeve out, but she had a long sleeve. She had an overcoat. Maurice, of course, got on a jacket and slacks, tie, the things that men do. Everybody else, got they're dressed warm. And then we see Melody was the first person to show up, and she got on a bikini, baby. I said, okay, is Kimmy overdressed or is she underdressed? I said, okay, so she must be hot. She coming in hot, baby. So I already kind of knew, this is about to be some mess. And can I say to you, I named from episode, I think it was like episode 3, I decided that Kimmy was going to be my favorite. Not Kimmy, excuse me. Stormy was going to be my favorite. She has been my favorite female on this season. Um, I I don't stand for none of them, but I will say she has presented herself in the most favored way for me this season. But when it comes to the males, can I say, dare I say, because I know y'all gonna scream in the comment section, Marceau is my fan favorite this season. Marceau for the win. Hands down, Marceau for the win. I love intelligence, and Marceau has been reading the girls. He said it himself. Stormy was the one that gave him the title of the BITCH, the male BITCH. But he has been taking on that title, and he has been winning. He's been scoring. I said, Marceau, I didn't know you had it in you. But I'm happy to see it. Hey, Kevin. It's so good to see you on this Friday, not Thursday. But I say Marceau for the win for me. I am enjoying his intellectual banter back and forth. But I will also say that I noticed that every time we see Marceau and Melody in an episode together and in a scene together, Melody has a lot of passion in her conversation with Marceau. She got a lot of heat for Marceau. So maybe that's part of the reason why she had on this bikini. She had to let off some steam. But I said, okay. We see them coming on in, filing in. Melody says to Kimmy, hey, I want to make an announcement. Do you mind if I make an announcement? And Kimmy's like, what kind of announcement you gonna make? Because we know how these scenes go, especially when the cast sit down to fellowship at the table together to feed their face and fellowship. It's always messy. It typically ends in a fight. So Kimmy's like, not on my watch. What you trying to do, girl? And Melody's like, oh no, it's gonna be a good announcement. So mind you, I'm sitting here in this episode knowing that in this season, we have seen Melody go around and make amends with all the females. We did see an episode of her going off on Marceau. But okay, like I said before, they are formidable opponents. They spar well back and forth. But Marceau for the win. But something has happened to where all that friendly energy that these ladies had with each other has dissipated. It's gone to hell. And this episode, in this setting, at this brunch, it was not friendly at all. And I don't know who did what and who pissed in Melody's cereal, but she was on one this episode. What happened behind the scene? And why didn't we see what transpired to cause a shift in the energy? So, Melody and Tisha and Marceau come in. Tisha has been getting on my nerves a whole lot lately. I don't know why her emotions haven't caught up with her beauty. Tisha is beautiful, but her esteem is just so low to the floor that it aggravates me to no end, to the whew. But she's doing her LSE thing, and they're talking about communication and thus and such. And Melody says, well, speaking of communication, I sent some of my students over to Black, and Black was closed at 9:00 at night. Why is Black closed? And she said it with a lot of veracity in her voice. And the question really was directed at Marceau. She ain't even got time to be fooling with Tisha. I said, okay, I get it. I get why, I wouldn't fool with Tisha either. But let me tell you something. As a woman, out of respect, even though I don't fool with Tisha like that, I would love for Tisha to be more than what she presents herself as. I wouldn't want to be in conversation and communication with Tisha. But out of respect for Tisha, I ain't finna be communicating with her husband either. And definitely with as much passion as Melody comes at Marceau. If I don't talk to you, I ain't got nothing to do with your husband either. Let's keep it real, Melody. Let's keep it righteous, Melody. Come on, church girl. Come on. Because I know you for your works. Anywho, so Marceau squashes the beef. Tisha tried to throw her jabs. Was it the students, or what is it? Was it the millimeters? Tisha, hush, girl. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. But Marceau comes in with a real calm, soothing voice. He squashes it. He was like, Black is gonna be closed for a little while. Well, why is it closed? This is the way Melody coming at this lady husband, this lady that she don't get along with. Marceau calmly says, well, it has something to do with some unpaid taxes. In the confessional, Melody's throwing more jabs. Marceau is always such and such and such. Now, this is this lady husband, Melody. I don't understand why they always got so much going on with Black, because I've been in business for such and such amount of time, and I ain't never had no problems with my taxes. That's you, but you doing e-commerce, boo. Where's your brick and mortar, ma'am? There's a difference, Miss Real Estate. I think you know that. So politics are based on the allocation of resources. That's all politics is. Okay? And Marceau, you do have to learn how to politic so that you can get the resources you need and that you can make the friendships you need to make sure your business is properly sustained and there is no closure at any time, because you know that the people are coming for you. I say this as a patron of Black. I enjoy coming to your establishment. I send people over to your establishment because it is a vibe. It is a vibe. But what I don't want is for anybody else to be able to sit on national TV and to attack your business the way that Melody just did. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. Even though let me leave you and your wife alone. But anywho, so everybody's here for the brunch. Everybody's grabbing their glass of champagne. They go sit down at this little tight, tiny table. This includes the muscle man, dark skinned Ken, and the muscle woman. I call them Tarzan and Jane. Trisha. These are people. We Alabama people, we got meat on our bones. I don't know why they were sitting up here in this little tight space. Kimmy, Maurice, I need you to open it up now. I need you to have a last supper table that is appropriate for all these bodies, okay? But from what they say, the chef has dynamic food. You can see in this image that I have on the screen that Maurice was all down in the plate, baby. He was eating because it would clearly look good. Kevin says, I think Ken was in Trisha's account leaving unflattering messages towards Marquez. I think so too. And I think Trisha may have been playing it up too. And she may have been enjoying those unflattering messages. But okay. I'm gonna get to them. We are working over there to they section. Okay. We coming over there, Kevin. But anywho, so they're having this discussion at the table. And I believe it was Miss Nail that brought up Destiny. Now, mind you, Destiny's not here. Miss Nail says, has anybody talked to Destiny? And no. Somebody else asked, which is anybody talk to Destiny. And Miss Nail said, well, the last time I talked to her, how's she doing? Because the last time I talked to her was at Stormy's event. By the way, Stormy and Courtney, put a pin right there. But last time I talked to Destiny was at Stormy's event, and she was really heartbroken over the situation with Sunni and Moses and how they're kind of encroaching on her territory. And Trisha speaks up and she says, well, I trained Destiny, and she's okay, but she has some choice words for some people. Now, mind you, you really do not like Mel. It is okay. Hello. I listen, the way she presented herself in this episode made me say, oh no, ma'am. I was really trying to hold out a little line of hope for her. But like I said, the way she presented herself, no, ma'am. Because there's a thing about being authentic. I told y'all my middle name is Real, Real, and I like to keep it real. If you don't like me, don't play in my face. If you don't like these ladies, why are you inviting them on a trip to begin with? Because all you're doing is stirring up mess. If you don't like this whole cast, who on this cast can you say that Melody likes? Because she got in the next scene and told Sunny flat out, I don't like none of them. And it ain't no girl code when it comes to me. And how many of their husbands do she appreciate? So if she don't like none of these people, why are you over here, Melody? And then you present yourself as, I'm such a boss, I don't need none of them and none of this. Then, okay, be the boss somewhere else. But don't sit in this environment and continue to be toxic in this environment. It doesn't go well for me. I can't digest that. Anywho, so back to the discussion on Destiny. Destiny is not there, and they're discussing Destiny. Melody is sitting in the midst of the discussion of Destiny, hadn't chastised nobody for discussing Destiny. She hadn't chastised, neither has she cut down the conversation, cut it off. You know why? Because she don't like Destiny. She considers Destiny her ops. But then someone makes the comment that I think it was Miss Nell again. Miss Nell was working. She was working. Let me finish up on Destiny. Chris makes the comment that he showed Sunny and Moses a home. And he also tried to clarify. I get it, Kevin. But Chris tried to clarify that Sunny says that her and Destiny weren't friends, that Destiny got it mixed up. She was just doing her job, and Destiny thought that she was more than what she thought they were more than what she was presenting. And Tisha chimes in, says, no, that's a lie, because even when Sunny was no longer working for the show, she was still hanging out with Destiny. They were meeting each other after hours, going out of town together, and thus and such. So Kimmy makes a comment. See, this is bouncing around. This conversation about Destiny is bouncing all around the table, and sitting in the middle of the table is Miss Melody. Okay, and I'm pointing her out because she was the focus of this episode. Okay, Kevin. But so I would bring up the ratings, but I'm gonna let somebody else talk about it for the focus of this episode. Anywho, so she's sitting in the midst of all this conversation, but she don't have any grievances about them talking about Destiny. She's taking it all in. She even threw in some comments about Destiny or about the situation with Destiny.
she Kimmy chimes in and starts giving her point of view that she likes Sunny because she likes Sunny for the fact that Sunny was there for her when she was going through her cancer and rehab. But she does not like the situation and that she's always going to be on Destiny's side no matter what. Kimmy says that someone jokes about Sunny Kimmy not wanting Sunny around her man. And Miss Nell throws out, "What you mean around your husband?" And then she says something to the effect of Trisha talking about Trisha's husband, and they were talking about dark skinned Ken sitting next to her. And someone else corrected, "No, they're not married. She's married to somebody else. That's her boyfriend." And that opened up the can of worms. And everybody's asking questions on, wait, when did y'all start dating? And what's thus and such? And who and what and how? And dark skinned Ken starts abba. He can't explain appropriately. And Trisha is trying to just shut it down, and she's jumping in, with hot jabs, just trying to shut it down. Well, they both agree that they've only been together 2 years. But what they can't agree on is when they started talking. And so all this time, the ladies were really the ones carrying the conversation. But here comes the mastermind, Marceau. You earned that title, Marceau, so I'm going to give it to you. Because I've seen you in 2 different episodes be the master. In fact, I could say 3 episodes this season be the mastermind. Mastermind Marceau says, "Well, I talked to your husband, Marquez." And he says, exactly, Kevin. I ain't one to gossip, but you ain't heard it from me. But yeah, Mastermind Marceau says, "Marquez told me that y'all were fool-la-la-ing before the relationship was over and completely done between him and his wife." And Ken tries to, thump his collar. He's beating on his chest again. And he got all this jewelry on. I was like, "Ken, who is this? Because we don't like this, honey." "No, sir. Not all that jewelry. All you had to do was let the body show. Just simple body. And be the body. You don't have to add no accessories or none of that, sir. The chocolate is good by itself, okay? It don't need any enhancements, sir." That's my personal take on it. But anywho, he got all this jewelry and stuff on, and he thumping his chest about how because I'm a good man, and a good man takes care of his responsibilities, and thus, and such and such and such. And Marceau, Mastermind Marceau, jumps back and said, whoa, sir. To be fair, man to man, that is that man's wife. And he has reason to have grievance with you. And Ken, back to Abba. He starts speaking in tongues again. Kevin says the live one did cause Mel to blast the other castmates on YouTube is why the energy has shifted. But what does that have to do with what we see on camera? See, that's what I said before when we talked about that live before and how she was spazzing out on live. Ma'am, Wanda's not on this show. You don't have any dealings with that lady. Wanda can say whatever she want to say on her YouTube channel. She has the freedom to speak. But you don't have to get your emotions all in a tizzy to respond. You don't have to. You boss lady, remember? Or are you? Beyonce gets talked about all the time. How many times do we see her come on live and respond to it? She boss lady. You don't have to do that. She does not have to come to the show with an energy and all this heat for somebody that ain't got nothing to do with the show. As she tries to put it, Wanda ain't nobody to her. But if she got all this energy, clearly Wanda is somebody. So back to Ken and Trisha trying to explain their timeline. Marcel was getting them together. He said, "Well, when did y'all really start? When did y'all meet each other?" Ken, "Well, in person, when I first saw her in person, I started running." Ken, you sound like you lying. A grown man as big and buff as you, and as we can see, you like to thump your chest and stroke your ego. I highly doubt that if you had been DMing this lady and meet her in the DMs, and can I say, Trisha, your DMs are off the chain because Martell said he met you in the DMs too. But yeah, if you saw her and admired her enough to jump down in her DMs, um, I doubt you ran away from her when you saw her in person. I'm sure y'all probably had a conversation, but that's neither here or there. The point was that you told us that y'all started talking through DM maybe 2015, 2016. That's to this date 8 or 9 years. But remember, y'all said y'all were only together 2 years. The husband told us on Messy Mondays that he didn't leave the house. He said he left the bedroom and moved upstairs in 2020. But he didn't leave the house until 2021. But y'all been talking for years prior to that. The husband also told us that he gave Trisha 5 G's to put on the down payment of a new house. And you were the first person walking through the door, punching the keypad and walking through the door. He saw it on the Ring camera. Y'all ain't deny it. I'm not. I'm gonna let her have it this time because she give church girls a bad name. These the type church folk that I don't like. That these are her kind, those kind. None of us are perfect, but don't be out here trying to present yourself like you perfect, you blameless, you just above everybody and everything. And then we see your behavior and your character really shows that you are just as nasty and as vile as Beelzebub himself. That's why I'm going in. That's why I don't like it. And I'm calling it out. These are the type church folk that make the general public not even want to go to church. And I don't like that. Because church is the biggest Black institution that we have. And it is the Black institution that we need. It needs to be the institution that is the strong tower in the community that everybody can run into and be safe, because it's hard out here in the streets for Black folk. Whole civil rights movements came through church. And now people like this that sit in the house with they all white on, trying to act like they above everybody, are the ones that's running people away from the safe space. And that's why I don't like it, Kevin. But Trisha and dark skin Ken, they can't get their timeline right. Exactly, Kevin. Exactly. The lowest of the entire season. And it was based around y'all's fave, Melody. The episode opened up with her and the episode closed with her. It was Melody heavy. Heavy, heavy. Yeah. I'm just saying. But she don't need the show. She don't need it, right? She don't need it. I'm just saying, Ken and Trish can't get their timeline right. They can't get their story right. And the cute little couple that y'all are trying to be on this show, it's starting not to be. Because what we do want to see y'all tell the truth. Just be honest. That hey, I like this dude. I saw this dude. I like this dude. Me and my husband were having problems. I was tired of that ninja, and I went and got me another ninja. Trisha, you're the one that's gonna have to straighten this out. Yes, ma'am. You are the one that's gonna have to straighten this out because we already see dark skinned Ken is down for it. He down like 4 flat tires. And I will say this too, Kevin. I don't know if you remember, but I told y'all Trisha got to have. She got that fire. Eh, 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 that fire. She putting that thing on it. What my guy E really said, she put that snap on me, y'all. She walking these men like a dog because every single one of them want to keep coming back. Ken said that I'm gonna ride with you no matter what. Even the husband that she dogging out on social media said in his interview with Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King, he said, you know what? Despite the fact that she got a whole nother man in the house that I gave her a down payment on, I'm gonna always be there for her. I say, my God, girl, what kind of kegels are you doing? Cause she got the thing. She got that thing that got these men going crazy, juicing, driving them crazy, baby. But what you can't drive is this story. You giving us a narrative, but we've been out here doing our research on you. And what the research says, that research says that in the words of Mari, you're lying. Somebody, anybody, and probably everybody is lying in this situation. But I'm gonna tell you somebody else who ain't all the way true and actual and factual is Miss Melody. Because as they're over here bouncing around trying to tell their story and get it straight about their timeline, Melody tries to shut it down. Ken is like, well, we were just talking, and Melody tries to shut down the situation. Like, well, I know that not everybody, she was trying to throw off on Mastermind Marceau in saying that everybody can't believe that a man and a woman can just talk and there be nothing else between them. Throwing off on Marceau, Mastermind Marceau. But Melody, what you proved in that the comment, that you're not as smart as him. You're not. And I'm going to show you another place where you prove that you're not the smartest one on this show. Because even Sunni got you together to your face. But everybody can't believe that a man and a woman can just talk and nothing be nothing between them. But I believe it. And so she says in her confessional that she had to shut the conversation down because she just didn't like everybody talking about Sunni behind her back. Now, after you sat here and let everybody get all their thoughts out about this situation, oh, now you got to shut it down? Because what you were doing was sitting down taking notes so that you can run back and tell that you ain't the one to gossip, right? But ain't nobody heard it from you. We just heard it with the cameras on you, ma'am. You go over to this boutique to have a little shopping spree with Sunni. And the first thing is the shade of it all. Sunni, why did you show up looking like you were looking? Ma'am, Sunni, you could be gorgeous. You could be. You could be. But you then like to present yourself like you Miss Seeley from The Color Purple. Why in the whole world did you come in there with a black dress with them black sneakers on? Because they had laces. The Help shoes that the maids wore in the movie The Help. The scarf was cute. You started out good with the scarf. Now you just look, us girls with these big foreheads, we got to put something on it now. So you did good putting the scarf on. But then from the head down, girl, what was you thinking? You are a producer. You know what the camera angles look like. You know how it's gonna frame you. Why? A cute shoe would have made a big difference. Kevin says another content creator has confirmed Carlos King has a content creator on payroll. Content creators was a male stan and has now changed up. Have you heard? I have heard. On another note, I forgot Carlos is your boy. That's my good friend Carlos. That's my good. But I listen. I'm not. I told you I don't stand none of them, so I can call Carlos out too. That's my good friend, but I will call him out. Yes, I will. Because my name is Valerie Real. Real. Real is who I am, is who I be, and I enjoy being me. Kevin also says the ratings are down because of the blackout, not Mel. That is the actual reason for the low ratings. Okay, so let me ask you this. What sense does it make that I won't remove myself from the show, but I'm going to stay on here and collect a check? But I'm going to tell my people, I'm going to have my people boycotting the show. That does not make good intellectual sense. If it does not make dollars, it does not make sense. What is the purpose? What's the plan? This is why she's not that brilliant. She's not that brilliant. This is why Marceau and Sunny can be smarter than her on her own show. So, with that being stated, they go over here to this boutique. Look at you. You got me so hot. My scarf that started coming down. They go over here to this boutique. Mel shows up in this black and white suit, lined in black. Look very nice, tailored to perfection, girl. But let me tell you something. Jezebel was the same way, tailored to perfection. I can't believe I said it out loud, but I did, and we're here now. It ain't showing. I pulled up the whole dress. It ain't the slip, baby. I pulled up the whole dress. I'm laying it all out on the table tonight, Kevin. It is what it is. I tried to give this lady some hope. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. But what I saw in this episode, no ma'am. No ma'am. Ain't no way in the world I would ever. No ma'am. I couldn't. Because I don't like fake people. I don't. If you nasty, be nasty. And it's okay. I'm all right with it. I know how to adjust. But I'm like, God don't like you lukewarm, either you hot or cold. I got to spew you out of my mouth. But anywho, so they're at the boutique and she's shading Sunny to her face. Now she's saying she liked the girl, but she's shading her to her face. Girl, you need to get you some clothes because they're gonna be talking about you. Like, ah! But Sunny got her back. Zingers on the table. So since you throwing it out here, Melody is going off about and going in about how they were talking about you at that table. Nobody's featuring you. And I didn't like how Kimmy was what Kimmy had to say. You need to be watching Kimmy. Oh, turn around. What you got on, girl? Let me see what you got on. Let me pack this battery in your back, though. You need to be talking about Kimmy because I didn't like what Kimmy had to say about you. Out of all people, I thought she was on your side. What? Sunny said, well, if anybody would be triggered, I thought it would be you. Sunny called her out. I got your car. I'm pulling your car, Mel, because when we were at that reality with the king, Mel said out of her own mouth that she didn't like the situation. She don't like it, and she wasn't here for it. But now you in my face wanting to be my friend. Maybe that's why Sunny showed up dressed like she was about to put that work on her. Like she came in on a broom. Maybe that's why Sunny showed up looking like that. Because, honey, I got your number, but what you didn't have is mine. She is on the show that she created. That is why. But she don't have to be. Because she the boss, right? So she don't have to be on the show. She don't have to be talent. Talent typically are the least profitable positions of the show. So she don't have to be talent because she the boss. But back to what Sunny was saying to her. Sunny was basically saying to her face, girl, your character should be offended by anybody that is cheating with anybody else, because that's who you have been presenting to us the whole time. So out of all people, you have made your square out to be the all being and all righteous, the almighty spouse that has been cheated on. I need vindication because I endured the pain of being cheated on publicly. But here you are making or trying to make best buddies with me, someone who went and took somebody man. And you not triggered? Huh? Make it make sense, my dear. So on her show that she created, she allowed 2 castmates in one episode to basically pull your card, pull your slip. Or because she had on a pantsuit, how about her Spanx were showing? Because, Miss Ma'am, you're the one that has built your whole following off of the fact that my spouse hurt me to the point where I need other people to support me. My spouse hurt me so much because he had a whole relationship with someone else while we were still together. I can't see it for Destiny and have any empathy for her because she wasn't married to the man. Even though she had a 15-year relationship with the man, she wasn't married to him. So her hurt don't hurt like my hurt because I had a piece of paper. And you're okay, Sunny, because she didn't have no paper. So it's okay for you to do it. But anybody else to choose to do it, I got to have spite for. Make it make sense. I'm just saying. We are just going to have to agree to disagree. My anxiety is increasing for no reason needed. You know what? I still love you. You still my head deacon in charge, Kevin. You know this. I get excited to see you every time. Yes, I do. But I don't mean to trigger your anxiety. I'm just calling it like I see it. Miss Ma'am is a whole fake mess. Why would you sit here at this table with these people, go and invite them on a trip to St. Thomas, every single one of them, and then go right in the next scene and tell Sunny, I don't like none of them? Why you? And if it was because of the show and the production of show, if it was because of production of show, why didn't they allow somebody else to present this trip to St. Thomas? Because we're here for the girls trip. Yes, we are. We are here for the girls trip. But let it be a girl to introduce the idea, one of the girls that everybody likes or can get along with just about, or bring people together. It could have been Kimmy. It could have been Stormy. If for this group of girls, it could have been Trisha, the new girl. To be honest, throw the whole show away. I don't want to say that now. I ain't saying that, Kevin. I ain't saying that. I feel like maybe Melody need her spinoff. Because everybody else on the show, they pretty much are giving a story. Maybe she need her a spinoff. Go do your thing with people that you do like. I agree with Dr. Heavenly when she says it's okay. It's okay. I agree with Dr. Heavenly when she says, hey, you created this one, you can create another one with some people that you like. I agree with it. In fact, I said it weeks ago that these are Martell friends. So why would you stay around people that don't like you and you don't like them? It does not make good sense. But yeah, so I can't see trying to stay and continue to present myself one way, and then it's not even making sense within the same episode. From scene to scene, the shift is happening. You can't keep the image up from scene to scene. The show is closely coming to an end. I pray that it doesn't. I pray that I really do. For one, it's a business. The show is a business. And I appreciate this black business in my state of Alabama. For two, Huntsville needs it. Huntsville is up and coming, but Huntsville is still very small. And having a show like this is doing wonders for the economy in Huntsville. It is drawing attention to our state, and I appreciate that. And it's giving us good content. It's so many content creators while they on here trying to dog the show and make it go away, they're eating off of it. These content creators are making money talking about this show. So it presents good conversation. Even if you don't like people, please see the profit in not liking them. The show is not toxic. It's certain people who bring toxicity to the show. That's the thing. But please see that it's plenty of people who are getting paid off of this show. Even the content creators that keep saying, make it go away. And then the next thing you'll have is them on another episode of their live saying, ain't nothing to talk about, y'all. I don't know what we're going to do. Ain't nothing out here to watch. And then it's a all black cast, which I appreciate because representation matters. We don't have a lot of all black casts. Can we at least appreciate and value the ones that we have? Are modifications needed? Yes. And I'm going to tell you why I'm always saying, Kevin, my good friend Carlos, is because out of all the shows that I've seen Carlos produce, I have never felt like he is a producer that pushes people into fighting each other. That's number one. I can't say that about all black producers. Number two, I feel like he does good work. I appreciate the fact that he was able to walk away from a major network and say, hey, I want to go do my own thing. And he has paved his own way. And he has had numerous hit shows that draw and attract a lot of attention. I appreciate that about Carlos. I'm not here for running down anybody, especially not no black body, doing their black job. I'm not here for it. I feel that those who do are operating in a crabs in the barrel mentality. And even though I'm a whole Cancer, my zodiac is Cancer, and that zodiac sign is a crab, I don't operate in a crabs in the barrel mentality. I don't. I want to see all of us win. Can I call us out when we're not doing the right thing or things are not going the right way? Yes, I can. And yes, I will. But at the end of the day, I want to see us all win. I do. And even though I know that Carlos has dissension with one of my other faves, Candy Burris. I love Candy Burris Tucker. Yes, ma'am, I do. Because I love a good girl boss. She's beautiful and doing wonderful things. Her family is pretty. Her family is beautiful. The blendedness of the family is gorgeous to see on TV. And I know that they have beef, but just because they have beef doesn't mean that I got beef. Because I don't operate in the crabs in the barrel mentality. I don't operate on group think mentality. Kevin says there are a few content creators who merely cover LAMH only. One in particular, I have to unsubscribe because the content was always negative. It was bothering my mental. Had to get it out of my spirit. And I agree with that. You are on point with that. I have been taking this opportunity to cover this story and nothing else at the time, just because I have limited time, and this is a good show to cover, and I'm able to bring the conversation back to community conversation. It's not all that I cover. And now I'm taking some leave time off work, so I'll be able to do a few more things. So I hope y'all come back and check out all the content. But at the same time, I don't want to be negative. And that's I will say this, Kevin, as a person, a human with a heart of humanity, when I don't like something or someone, I try to just not discuss it, because I try to always emit positive vibes only. And if the energy that I have for that thing or that person is negative, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to give it any more steam. Just let it be what it is. I don't have any appreciation for that, so I leave it alone. And if you've noticed in the previous episodes that I have reviewed or covered, I do my best to try not to say a whole lot about her, because I was seeing something that I didn't like. And with her being a beautiful Black woman with a beautiful Black family, I didn't want to punch down or, come down hard on her. I didn't want to do that. But this episode was so heavily focused on her, I have to talk about it heavily. It has to be a focal point in the conversation this evening. And I'm having to acknowledge this is why I don't like this. I don't like the character she presents on this show. I don't know who she is in real life, but what she's presenting on this show, I don't like. Mm-mm. I can't get with it, and I don't care about nothing. Her interactions with anybody else. At the end of the day, no matter what someone does to you, they don't make you feel. You choose to feel, and they don't make you respond. You choose your response. So I'm not enjoying the feelings that she is emoting, and I'm not enjoying her response. It's just not palatable for me. And that's the way I see it. But anywho, I'm looking forward to what's going to go down in St. Thomas. We've seen some snippets. The episode comes back on on tomorrow. Yes, I am. If you know anything about a good Cancer, baby, when we love you, we love hard. But when we ain't got nothing, when we don't fool with you, we don't fool with you. It's done. I tell people all the time, I'm anointed to cut folk off. Negative vibes got to get away from me with that. No, I don't do it. No. Mm-mm. 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 And cancers are highly intuitive. And yeah, I've been telling y'all from the very beginning. I see something that is just not right. But y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. We're looking forward to this trip to St. Thomas. But like I said, I'm not here for you inviting somebody that you don't like on a trip out of the country. And we got to go, fly on planes and get on ships and boats and stuff to sail away together, because you are not finna take me over here to St. Thomas to Shanquilla Robinson me. And that's just the way I see it. My guards will be up if I was these girls. Are you on an Aquarius? Are you an Aquarius, Kevin? Because baby, Aquarius is, they are moved by the moon. Yes. And we're in a new moon. We're in a new moon. We have to talk offline. Hit me up on Instagram, Kevin. Ew, why don't be throwing me off like that? Oh, really? Okay, okay, got you. Got it. But yeah, so I'm not here for them going on this trip. I'm here for the trip itself, but I'm not here for you to invite these ladies on trips just so you can stir up stuff. No, no. Cause if I'm going out of my way to go on a trip with somebody that I know don't really care for me, my guards are gonna be up. I got to sleep with one eye open, and the heat is gonna be right next to me in the nightstand, and I might even have something under my pillow just in case you try to feel froggy and jump. I'm gonna be ready for you because that's just who I am, and that's just how I am. I'm like Trisha. I'm a whole soldier out here. If you know, you know. But what do y'all think is gonna happen on this trip to St. Thomas? Is there now? Melody said there is no girl code. So if there's no girl code, what are these girls gonna get into, and what are they about to do? And those words that she spoke at that table about it's okay for a man and a woman to be talking and nothing else be between them. Is she gonna believe them words out of her own mouth when they come out? Those words that came out of her own mouth when they come out of Trisha's mouth? I'm just saying. You never know what you're gonna get with me, Kevin. You should know that by now. I'm kind of a little bit unpredictable. Yes, and I think that trip is gonna be unpredictable as well. Um, yeah, I think it is. I think that Melody is gonna be in for a rude awakening. I know that she has invited one of her outside girlfriends to be a part of the trip, and Tisha has invited her castmate girlfriend to be a part of the trip, and I think the two of those two extra invites might be the catalyst to a lot of heat being stirred around. It's gonna be some tides moving in this water. Yeah, the trip is going to be a ish show. I agree with you on that, Kevin. So it is we're winding down to the end of the month. Next week is the end of August. So we'll be back on Thursday next week. But like I said, I do plan on putting out a whole lot more content since I got some time, baby. I got some time. Let me tell y'all something. We were gone all that time for the Olympics, but I've been working like a Hebrew slave out here. I'm surprised you don't see the tan on me, but yeah, your girl been working. They got me working. And I said, oh my God. And I'm happy to be home. And I'm happy to have some time off to definitely work on my content creation. And once again, I appreciate y'all for helping me get over 1,000 subscribers. Now let's go on to 2,500. Can we get there? Yes, we can. I think Mel is going to find out Trish messed around with Martell while married to Mel. I think so too. But is she gonna be okay with that after she just stood up for Trish Lord, what's the lady name? Trish at the table. She was just trying to be in her corner, her amen corner, and taking up for her. It's okay that y'all were talking while you were still married. Are you gonna be okay with the fact that Martell was talking while she was still married too, and while you were still married? That's what I'm talking about. The old people say your own teeth will bite you. A lie don't care who tell it. So yeah, that's the part that I'm looking forward to. How is she going to respond to this? And back to Stormy and Courtney. Y'all, Trish was over there in that corner trying to get her timeline right. And Stormy, her good friend Stormy, was backing away from her. Stormy was practically sitting in Courtney's lap. Now I was shocked that Stormy and Courtney were quiet the whole time during that brunch. But their energy, Stormy and Courtney, every time I see them together on screen, it seems like they just came out of some heated fellowship. They love each other, and it is apparent. It comes across on the screen like they got that honey love. Yes, they do. Um, Inquiring minds want to know. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, anywho, that's it. That's all. I appreciate, thank you, Kevin, for always being my head deacon in charge in the comment section. I think I might be able to do some wrenches now. I don't know how to get the option available. Kevin, you want to be a moderator for me? Because I love it when you're here. I really, really do. Even though you and I don't see eye to eye. I really do appreciate you. But until we meet again, love God and love your families. I'll see you on next Thursday for the review of the next episode. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Yes, Love and Marriage Huntsville is back on. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.